Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What is the Qur'an? It's a very difficult question and it's not possible to answer in just a few minutes. But we can just point some highly important aspects of this discussion. The Qur'an is the verbatim word of God. And what does this mean? The Qur'an is the word of God. And this word is eternal, is uncreated. And that word is expressed in a created language. So according to Muslim theologians, and according to Muslim philosophers and spiritual masters, the Qur'an is this divine word, eternal, infinite word, and that was expressed in a created language. So when you are holding the Qur'an, yes, you are holding a created material. It's papers, and you are looking at a created language. This linguistic structure, it's letters, it's grammar, semantics. You're looking at a created thing. But the content, one must know, is uncreated. So when you are holding the Qur'an, you're actually holding something which brings the infinite and the finite together. Why is this important? Because if you approach the Quran with this in mind, it's crucially important because it allows you to appreciate the real value of the Quran. Seeing that word, the divine word, and seeing it as the verbatim word of God allows you to go back to Quran in every situation and to unearth, to unpack its infinite treasures. One has to go with this in mind, with this principle that the Quran brings the infinite content to us in a finite language. That's why the Quranic language is not like any other thing. It's different. It is discontinuous. It is sometimes asymmetrical, sometimes continuous, sometimes linear, sometimes poetic, sometimes not. Language behaves really differently in the Quran because that language is carrying an infinite burden, as if under the overwhelming pressure of the divine content, language smashes and behaves differently. And that is beautiful, but actually is also, since it was expressed by God, it is used and it is kind of capable of carrying that overwhelming burden. And that's why the Quran is not like any other text. And that's the first thing that one must keep always in mind when is reading the Quran. The Quran is the verbatim word of God. And secondly, the Quran is a revelation, but there's another revelation which is created and also is being created all the time. That is the universe. Now, the Quran is also an interpreter of this book of universe in which we find ourselves. It is interpreter in the sense that it teaches us how to read the divine science which is presented to us. You're looking at the moon, you're looking at the sun, and how to extract that divine content from these divine signs, divine ayah, as the Quran says it. And the Quran is also an interpreter in terms of teaching us how to behave in this universe. So without the Quran, it's not possible to truly understand what the universe is about. Also, reading the universe helps us to discover and rediscover the Quran, the infinite treasures of the Quran. So one must put the book of universe and this book, the revealed book, the Quran, next to each other and read them together and read them, in an attempt to integrate their teachings. Okay, the Quran is an interpreter of the book of universe. That's the second thing that I want to say about the Quran. And from another perspective, the Quran, this is the third thing that I want to say. The Quran is the culmination of the sacred history. And this is what I mean by this. We know that this is not the first revelation that God has given to mankind. There's a revelationary process. It starts with Adam, then it continues in other prophets. Yes, the message is the same. The central message, according to our belief, is the message of Tawheed. La ilaha illallah, there is no God but God, and worship Him only. And this is the central message given to all prophets. And in this sense, Islam is not only a religion which is given to Muslims today, but it is this primordial religion which was gradually unfolded. And in the Qur'an, we see the culmination of this message. That message now is being given to man in all details and in a magnificent manner, in a mesmerizingly beautiful way. And the Quran, in this sense, is the culmination of history and this process of communication between man and God. By the way, this is why in the Quran we see names of other prophets, Abraham, Moses, Jesus. That's why these figures are venerable figures, and that's why Muslims name their kids after these prophets. This is all because of this, and the basic messages here, the Quran is presenting the most perfect, most detailed form and version of that message. La ilaha illallah is being expressed to mankind with its all conclusions, with its all requirements in the Quran. And fourthly, I also want to say a few words about Quran's gigantic impact on mankind. And on its first audience, in the first place, the Quran completely transforms its first audience and continuously transforms, coming generations and the following generations. How? Look at the society in which the Quran was revealed. That was a polytheist society. Some says henotheist. Polytheists, they were praying more than 360 gods. In Kaaba, there were more than 360 gods and their idols, and they were knocked down after the conquest of Mecca. But they were polytheists. And now, in a very, very short amount of time, in just a few decades, the Quran completely transforms the society and makes them ardent monotheists. Now they are in love with the expression La ilaha illallah, and in the sense that they feel the infinite presence and infinite transcendence of God in their lives, and they reject all intermediation between God and man. This egalitarian, this liberating look, very rational, also very transcending belief, and that's what Quran brings to these people and transforms them. And from another perspective, ethically transforms them. That this was a society in which tribal codes was dominant. Tribal code, this tribalism was shaping their ethics, as if an individual is dissolved in his or her own tribe, and there's between tribes there were no actually ethical code. There were a kind of muruwa, a machoism, a hospitality, but nothing like as it is presented in the Quran. This detailed, this stance against ego, isar, altruism, and all other things that is shaping the relationship between man and man and man and God. And they were lacking in their, and the Quran is presenting all these and again transforming them ethically, making them complete human beings. This is another aspect of this. And political also, right? The Arabs were at each other's throat, and now the Quran comes and brings a unity, because the Quran is going beyond these tribal boundaries. Now individual is not dissolved in his own tribe, but individual now is responsible toward God only and standing alone before God. Politically also we can talk about the transformation. Linguistically we can talk about the transformation. The Quran changes Arab language. The imagery of pre-Arabic, pre-Islamic Arabic poetry, the imagery changes. They were seeing the world, the nature the nature as a hostile domain. In pre-Islamic Arabic poetry, we see how hostile nature is. But the Quran comes and brings in a different message, and in which now nature is an amiable place. It's a collection of signifiers. It is lovable. It is there, to embrace us. There is this intimate and loving relationship is constructed between man and nature in the Quran. Again, changing their worldview completely. From another perspective, in terms of gender, relationships, woman that was a highly strict patriarchal society, but now the Quran comes and presents a different way of looking at things, in which men and women are equal. They complete each other, not identical, but equal. We also see a fundamental progress in women's rights and things like that. It was for some actually, it's quite a feminist movement there. It is presented to people. So if you look at this, how it transforms, this transformative magic, this gigantic influence of the Quran. This whole transformation happened so quickly, and the Quran is still vibrating in our lives, and it is still continuing to transform our minds and hearts. Thank you.